This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. I'm here with Steph, and we're going to break down tonight's game versus the Indiana Pacers. This is game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. And so far, the New York Knicks have played pretty good basketball in the preseason. We'll see if they continue that trend tonight. Steph, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Sam. Hope you and yours is doing good as well. Looking forward to the show and the game tonight.
Yeah, and the game, yeah. Before I didn't get a chance to really speak with you about your takeaways from the open practice the other day, Sunday.
Right.
What did you take away from that open practice?
A few things. One, and we've talked about this, me, you, and Tone, just them practicing with that 14-second time clock. You know, I'm not sure. Maybe they did it last season as well, but they're really emphasizing playing with pace.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that away. I also took away just the camaraderie between them, and I don't think it was just because fans was there. They seemed to genuinely like each other. Also, Randall, who, sat out, he was involved, as well. I took that away. And then also how even in practice, first team, second team is situational is visual. It is visual. Like Obi had on the blue because Randall was hurt. Now you had Sims, who I'm sure had on green, which is the situational G League team. He was up with the first team. And it was interesting that both Grimes and Fournier had on a blue jersey.
Right.
So that means they had 6 players with the blue jersey. So maybe that competition is still open. And then lastly, how good Grimes looked. Now, it sounds like he's sitting out this game, but he looked really good in practice when we saw him.
Yeah, he did. He looked good. He looked healthy. Who knows if afterwards maybe there was a little bit of pain in his foot or something like that, but he definitely looked healthy out there. And like you said, the division of the teams is clear. It's so clear that the green team doesn't even say New York Knicks on their jerseys. It's just a green jersey. You know what I mean?
Right. You right.
Listen.
You right.
If I was one of those players, I'd be like, wait a minute. If I'm McBride and Jericho Sims and I'm on the green team, I'm like, I don't even got New York on my jersey. Like, couldn't we do an orange jersey that says New York on it or something?
Right.
But it's a clear division, and I think it makes it clear to the players where you stand.
Right.
So if you were Cam Reddish last year and you came in to practice once you got traded to the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau threw you a green jersey, you knew exactly where you stood. There was no question about it. And I think it's good that Tom Thibodeau has that kind of a system, and they probably have it throughout the league, but it signifies, hey, you got to work your way up.
No doubt about it.
You got to work your way to the white team, and then from the white team, you got to work your way to the blue team.
And there was no switching, Sim. Because I remember, like in practice, you're going to start with the red team, then you switch to pennies, and then you run with,
Nope.
Blue, period. That's what it's for every
it.
time you come to practice unless there's an injury.
Right. Yeah. So that sends a clear message, you know what I mean? But I think it's structure, and the guys know exactly where they stand when they're out there, you know what I mean, and how they need to get to the next level. I did realize and recognize that Evan Fournier and Grimes both had on a blue jersey, you know what I mean? So I do think Tom Thibodeau was surveying that, how they play in the lineups and really taking a look at who should be starting. I still think it's going to be Evan Fournier, right? But this tells me, though, that somewhere in the back of his mind, Tom Thibodeau is thinking Quentin Grimes could be starting for this basketball team in that shooting guard spot. So I need to make sure he gets enough reps with the starters so that when that time comes, he's ready. You know what I'm saying? Big Bubba, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on?
Good.
I'm back in the building. I'm feeling better, Sim.
Good.
I just really want to first and foremost say, thank you everybody that reached out to me. Most people should know, but some people don't know. My father passed away September 30th, and I just appreciate all the love and support from you, Sim, Steph, Tony, Guillermo, everybody that reached out, man. Josh reached out. I just want to say, man, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody that, reached out and showed me love, man. It meant the world to me. My father loved this channel. He loved coming on. He loved talking to Sim. He loved talking to, Guillermo and all you guys. And every time we went to the games, I think it was like two times or three times. It was greatly appreciated, man. He had the best time of his life. I still remember we was on the court. That's one of my best memories of that. So I just really, really, really from the bottom of my heart, man, appreciate everybody that, reached out. Y'all don't know how much that meant to me for real, man. Sim, what you and Tony did. I appreciate you, even though I kind of paid for dinner. It's okay.
No, don't lie about it. He stuffed me with $150 bill, ladies and gentlemen. $150 bill for lunch. And I got the receipt to prove it, so don't even do it.
No.
And he was the only one that ate lunch, so.
No, man, but no, for real, man. You guys, man, you guys are really, when we talk about MBK being a family, man, we really are. And again, man, my dad really loved y'all for real. Sim, you already know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, Steph, thank you for all the kind words and the flowers and the text. I appreciate it. Tony Crow, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Josh, we talked. Thank you, man. And shout out to Guillermo, man. He got a chance. He came all the way down from where he from to come to the wake, man. And I appreciate that so much, man. Again, I just thank everybody because I think you, Sim, told me and Guillermo told me that a lot of people from Twitter reached out. So
yeah.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you so much. And let's talk about some Knicks, man.
Yeah,
I know that's what my dad. What my dad wants.
No doubt.
Let's talk about some Knicks, man.
The last thing that I'll say is when we do the live podcast before the game on October the 21st, we're gonna do something to honor Isaiah's dad. If you all have been here for a while, you've seen his dad come on the show. Some of you guys remember when his dad yelled at him to shut up because he was yelling too loud. You know what I mean? That's his first introduction to the show. So we're gonna do something to honor his dad at the live podcast. So that should be pretty dope.
Man, son, thank you so again. I told you thank you a million times, son, but thank you, man. I really appreciate that, man. And again, man, this has been the toughest time of my life, but you guys have made it easier, man, so much. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Thank you guys. And let's get with the show, man.
Yeah, let's go. It, man. Let's get with it. Let's talk about the injury report. The only thing that I've seen from the injury report right now is that Quentin Grimes will not play tonight.
Oh, so I'm sorry. I skipped Andy. Andy reached out too. So.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, all right. Andy said you forgot.
Andy
said you skipped your white friend. My fault, Andy.
Yeah, but
Andy, I love you, brother. Thank you, Andy.
But Quentin Grimes is not going to play tonight. All right, he practiced. We know that he practiced at the Knicks open practice, and I guess he practiced yesterday, but I guess he didn't do everything, so he's not going to play. He looked healthy, so I can only assume that it's precautionary measures, or maybe his foot was still a little bit sore after, working out for 2 days or whatever it is. But I can't wait to get him back because I want to see what he looks like out there. I think they're hoping that he's going to play on Friday. But I've asked it a million times. I'm asking it again. Do you have any concerns, Steph, at all about Quentin Grimes?
I do a little bit. I do. Especially when I saw him in practice and he looked good. The next day in the press conference, Tom Thibodeau said he looked good, and now he's not playing. So did he have a setback?
Right.
And I'm sure. So I'm a little concerned, but it's a long season though. It's a long season.
Yeah, long season. Isaiah, any concerns about Quentin
You know what,
Grimes?
Sim? I am a little. I'm with y'all. I'm a little scared because you know what? If he didn't get injured last year, I would have said, okay, they're just being precautious. They're just making sure. But I'm just hoping the dislocated knee isn't giving him issues again. And I just hope because because I believe Quentin Grimes should be the starter for the Knicks. I believe he should be the starter. But if you can't get on the flow,
Right.
you're gonna force Tibbs' hand, and he's gonna have to keep starting. Every
Well, it's a sore foot. That's the reason why he's sitting
Oh,
out.
sore foot.
Now, I don't know if it's I don't know. I think it's his left foot. I'm not exactly sure which knee was injured last year. Because it's possible that if it's the same leg, then your knee injury could impact your foot. If you were favoring a side or doing anything like that. According to Quentin Grimes, it's basically because he was going so hard over the summer that it's impacting him now. You know what I mean? And, it's kind of overuse or whatever. I guess we will see as time goes on. Tom Thibodeau, in the past, he's wanted guys to go through practices before he puts them out there in the game. I would assume that it'd be the same thing with Quentin Grimes, but he has participated in practices and he did say, he's always in shape. You know what I mean? So that's not a concern to Tom Thibodeau. So when he's healthy, we might see him right away whenever he's healthy,
And Tip said in one of his press conferences that nobody works harder. So maybe he did really overwork himself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta stop the play. Honestly, and some kind of allude to this. Sometimes you gotta stop the players from themselves. Because practice. Listen, practice of course is good, but you also need rest. You also need to make sure that your body's good because, you know what I mean. So
that's the key. Rest. You got to get rest. That's part of staying healthy, and part of being in shape is getting the proper rest. So that your body can continue to go at the speed and the pace and the strength where you want it to go. You know what I mean? But that means most likely Evan Fournier is going to be in that starting lineup in the shooting guard position. I didn't hear anything about him being out. The last game that he was out, it was due to rest. Right? So when you look at the starting lineups for these two teams, the Knicks just played the Indiana Pacers a couple of days ago. For the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. And for the Indiana Pacers, Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton, Chris Duarte, Buddy Hield, Jalen Smith, and Miles Turner. As long as they don't have any injuries or anybody resting or anything like that, that would be their starting lineup for the night. From what you've seen last game, Steph, is there anything about these two lineups that you would be concerned with after last game?
Just overall, our perimeter defense. I do like the fact that people were rotating, the energy and the effort was there, but that was because of the penetration. Like they have multiple guys who can put the ball on the floor and get into the lane. So I'm a little concerned about that. Brunson and Halliburton, Brunson again, his effort is there.
Mm-hmm.
But Halliburton was able to, get into the lane, a little bit too. And he doesn't come across as somebody particularly fast. That would probably be about it. I liked Robinson playing Turner on the perimeter, actually getting the steal. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I think I agree with you right? Because in the last game, they started off hot from the 3-point line right from the beginning. They were knocking down threes. A couple of guys got loose, and this is with Cam Reddish in the lineup at the time. Now you're gonna have Evan Fournier. Does that concern you that maybe they get off to a rockier start because Evan Fournier is in the lineup versus Cam Reddish or Quentin Grimes?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely it does. And we'll say it's not one individual defender as long as you have a system. But even with the system, if you got a lot of weak links in that system, the system is going to break down. It can't cover up, multiple poor defenders. And
Right.
so we'll see. I do think our team defense will get better over time, but I'm interested. I'm going to be looking at that tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Isaiah,
Yeah, I
looking
got
at the lineups and from what you've seen last game to this game, if you got a chance to watch the last game, any concerns about this lineup, from the last game?
Yeah, for me, so I didn't get to fully watch the game, but I did watch the highlights of the games, and I watched RJ and Jalen Brunson and OB highlights. I would say that like Steph was saying, just see, this is kind of the big thing with Jalen Brunson is that at the end of the day he's 6 feet tall. It's hard to guard somebody that's 6'5" or 6'6", whatever Tyrese Halliburton is. It's just gonna be tough for him. And then, like you said before, Sim, with the perimeter defense, that's the kind of thing that you expect a little bit more from Cam. I know we're gonna talk about Cam a little bit later, but you need that. That's to me the way Cam to get on the floor. He's 6'8". You have long arms, bro. You're supposed to be a young, good defender. For him to get minutes on the floor and everything. But I will say that with the defense with Evan, we're gonna see. Hopefully, it's a little. I know Evans is a good help defender for the most part. I just want to see how it works, because I think that's going to also determine what we do with Quentin Grimes. If there's going to be moments in the game where the perimeter defense is just too bad, where the offense doesn't overstep it, I think we're going to see more of an emphasis to put Quentin Grimes in that starting lineup and have Evan come off the bench just to have a little more balance with the first unit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a while. I think Tom Thibodeau's going to say, let me see what this lineup looks like for a little while. So I'm talking 20, 25 games, before he decides either way. I'm keeping Fournier in there, or I'm going to replace him with Quentin Grimes. That's the only position in that lineup that's up for debate. No matter how much people argued about Obi and was excited that Obi scored 24 points in the last game, I don't think that position is up for debate right now. Not with the coaching staff.
Not even question. No question.
Not with the coaching staff. With the fans, yes, but not with the coaching staff. We'll see if Obi can continue to play that type of basketball. Then I'll say it's up for debate.
To be fair, that's a good. Listen, if that's the problem, the Knicks are worrying about. That means we're going to have one hell of a season.
Exactly.
If that's the problem, we're worrying about if Obi should be starting. So you think opening day? You think it's gonna not opening day? Well, their opening is the 19th. So you think the 19th is going to be Evan Fournier starting?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Evan Fournier. Yep. I mean, I think Quentin Grimes already knows this. If you listen to his, what'd you say, Steph?
No, I was going to say he spoke to it, but I think that's what you was about to say.
Yep, he spoke to it, and he said, he's earned it. He's been in the league for 11 years. You know what I mean? I didn't play all of last season, and I'm hurt now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think he understands that he's got to earn that time.
Yeah,
and it's not just going to be thrown to him because people want him to get out there. So yeah, I think it's going to be Evan Fournier. And then Tom Thibodeau will look at it and see where it goes from there. But yeah, I'm concerned about the perimeter defense. I just want to make sure, maybe the last game they just got hot early in the first quarter. So I'll be watching to see if it happens again. Now I'm going to expect this game the Indiana Pacers are going to come out, try to play some tougher defense. Maybe they have some small adjustments that they try to do, They're not going to give away a whole bunch of stuff because it's preseason, but they may try some small things, to counteract whatever the Knicks were doing. But I fully expect the Knicks to win this game. I think they're better than this team, and the Knicks are obviously, they want to win the preseason games. They're not going to give away all of their strategies, but they're going to use their philosophy, I think, of playing hard-nosed defense, pushing the pace, and so far it's been good for them. And they blew the Pacers out last game, 131-114. I don't think many people expected that. We'll see if they can do it again. But the bench was really a catalyst into blowing the Pacers out. Anytime the bench got on the floor, they extended the lead. Steph, do you expect the same thing tonight from the bench?
I do. I think it's back to being the strength of the Knicks. Last season, with the injuries, a lot of them had to be, pressed into that first unit.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the rest of the season, I anticipate the bench being strong for us, extending leads, getting us back into the game. If we're down, and at worst, just holding the line.
Right.
Until the starters can get back in.
Right. How do you think it changes with Cam Reddish? I'm assuming Cam Reddish going back to the bench.
I think the second team will still be strong.
Mm-hmm.
With Cam Reddish out there, we're talking Rose, IQ, Cam, Obi, iHeart. I think it's still strong. And the thing about Cam is, even if a shot is not falling, if he's defending, if he's helping move the ball, if he's bringing the ball up the court, it's giving the Knicks a more diverse look. You can't just key on one person. Oh, IQ is always bringing the ball, down the court. So, yeah, I think it's still going to be strong with Cam in there.
Yeah. I think they probably play a little bit different because you're not going to go, well, he may, but you're probably not going to see that super small lineup that you're seeing when, it's IQ, Derrick Rose, and Deuce out there. And maybe he does just to look at it.
I low-key like it.
What'd you say? Isaiah?
I low-key liked it.
I wasn't that crazy about it. It was okay. I didn't think that. As a matter of fact, I think that's when the Pacers took the lead, when that lineup was in the game. I just felt like they had trouble rebounding, that group. The defense was good. They had good pressure, but I felt like they had trouble rebounding the basketball. It'll be interesting to see if he goes to that lineup again, just to take a look at it.
And so I'm talking about our bench. The Knicks have been out-rebounded the first two preseason games. Now, it's just the preseason. But if Obi wants to get more time, if iHeart wants to get more time, they're going to have to rebound. We can't be getting out-rebounded when they're in the game. Now, It wasn't by a lot, and I'm just chalking it up to the fact that two of our better rebounders, Randall, I think, played 18 minutes. Robinson, who's improving his defensive rebounding, played like 19 minutes. So maybe I'm not too concerned. But when they're off the floor, our power forward and our center is going to have to pick up the slack rebounding wise.
Now, Steph, is there a way to find out what is it? Sim? Like to pick apart when they're on the floor, the rebounding numbers? Because of course they're going to play the first quarter, parts of the second, and then third, and then fourth is pretty much just the kids and stuff like that. I'm curious because I will say I'm gonna be pissed this year, Steph, if we got to be like, the reason why we lost is because the Knicks 38 rebounds versus the whatever team 48 rebounds.
Right.
That's gonna be the thing, because to me the Knicks are in a good position where we have guys that can rebound. We got RJ, Randall, Mitch, Hartenstein should be going to. What, Steph? I need Obi to step up and I need him to be a rebounder. You too athletic and you got too much jump, too much height to be not getting, to me, at least 9 rebounds. He needs to be getting 8 or 9.
Well, he also's got to have those enough minutes to get 8 or 9. So I think it's more about the rebounding rate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The rebounding rate. I'll say this too: rebounding isn't just about jumping, though. Sometimes it's about toughness, and being able to box out and hold off, whoever your opponent is, and then grab the rebound through traffic. You know what I mean?
This is why you need somebody. I don't know how Zebo don't have a job as a
He
coach.
probably I was about to say he probably too old. You as a coach.
No, he needs to be a coach because I used to love the way Zebo rebound the ball. That dude was a master at getting the rebounds, yo.
Yeah. I mean, rebounding athleticism plays a part in it, but it's also about, having a nose for the ball, finding the right angles, being able to understand where the ball is going to bounce, those type of things, and not just relying on your athleticism. But Uncle Fulio, and speaking about Obi, said Sims throwing shade about Obi's 24-point game, yet him and Tony was talking about Mitch needing to watch his back from iHeart. How ironic. I don't understand why you're bringing up Mitch and iHeart. So I'll just leave it there, I guess. I don't understand why you're bringing that up. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying let him do it again and again and again. That's all. That's it. You know what I mean? You're talking about a player in front of him that averages 20 and 10 and has been a big part of what you've done versus a player that hasn't shown much in the NBA yet. That's all I'm saying. So let him show it first. Let him continue to do it, not just show it, but continue to do it consistently. That's all I'm saying. And if he outplays Randall, then cool. He outplays Randall, and he deserves to be the starter. Just let him do it consistently. That's all I'm saying. Speaking of iHeart, so Josh, I'm glad you brought that up. I really want to see Tom Thibodeau use iHeart in different ways. They've had some more practice time. I'd like to see him become a little, use those passing skills a little bit more. We've seen it a little bit last game. He found McBride for a nice pass. I think there was a point in time when he had the ball on the elbow and players were like circling around him. I think it resulted in a turnover, but I can see where it could go. I'd like to see some more of iHeart with the ball at the mid post or at the high post and guys cutting to the basket. I want to see what that looks like a little bit more. Hopefully they explore it some. I know it takes time to build that chemistry for it to happen frequently or consistently, but now's the time to start doing it. Also with iHeart, so far over 2 preseason games, I think he shot at least 2 per game.
Right.
I told Josh the other day, I think that he's going to probably shoot over 100 threes, maybe even more this year, and average maybe 2 attempts a game. Do you think, Steph, that he's going to be shooting a lot of threes?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in the flow of the game, he's not going to be out there jacking them up, but I don't think he's going to hesitate. And honestly, we need it.
Yeah.
And if he's hitting it at a respectable clip, they're going to have to honor it, and that creates more space for us. But just briefly to the point you just said about them getting chemistry, that's the downside, if you want to say, about playing so many people in the preseason, is that whoever your starters are going to be, they got the time practicing, obviously, but in game situations, not so much because their minutes are down and we're playing more people.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt. So, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the starting lineups just one more time: Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks. And then Halliburton, Chris Duarte, Buddy Hield, Jalen Smith, and Miles Turner for the Indiana Pacers, as long as there's no other injuries. We'll find out at 7 p.m. tonight. Looking at I guess I'll look at the numbers from the previous game, and then we can look at we can look at some numbers from just overall what each team has been doing during the preseason. In the previous game, the Knicks won the game 131-114. They were out rebounded, like you said, Steph, 47-43. The Knicks had 25 assists, Pacers 26, 9 steals for the Knicks, 5 blocks for the Knicks. The Pacers had 10 blocks. I didn't even realize that. 10 blocks for the Pacers. 19 turnovers for the Pacers. The Knicks had 9. The Pacers shot 44.6% from the field. They shot 39.4% from the three-point line. All right, the Knicks shot 44% from the field, 40.5% from the three-point line, 96% from the free throw line for the Knicks. That's beautiful to hear. Beautiful to hear. 96.3%, 73% for the Pacers. Points in the paint. The Knicks had, 50 points in the paint. The Pacers, 52. 24 second chance points for the Knicks, 5 for the Pacers. Then fast break points. The Knicks had 17 and 15 for the Pacers. A lot of those fast break points came off of steals, right? The Knicks generated 9 steals. So far, they're averaging double-digit steals, right? I think they had 14 steals versus the Detroit Pistons. All right, so that's the team comparison. Anything stand out to you right there, Steph?
The fast break points for the Knicks, 31 in the first game, 17 in the second game. Keep in mind, last season 17 put you number 1 in the league. So if they can keep, Memphis was number 1 in the league in fast break points at 17 point something. So the Knicks they don't have to get 20 something fast break points. If you can get 14, 15, 13, that's gonna really help them. So, and they're getting them off of steals, off of playing really good defense, which lets me know that they're engaged and they're active, with their hands. So I'm definitely encouraged by that. And is this the game where we shot pretty good free throw shooting wise as well?
Yeah,
96%.
96%.
I think the first game it was 73 or something like that, but they rebounded. I think they understand based on last season or just in general how important free throw shooting is. So that stands out as well, and hopefully that continues.
Yeah, definitely. Isaiah?
Yeah, the rebounding, fast break points, turnovers, that's big.
Yeah.
Especially moving the ball. I think that was a big thing for the Knicks last year, which was, I think it's been an issue for the Knicks for a very long time, actually. Just has having low assists and high turnover numbers. Besides, I think like there's been a couple of seasons that's been anomalies, like the 54 game season. We're pretty low on turnovers. And they had a few other occasions, but most of the time we have these low assist numbers and just high turnovers. So I'm really good to see that. And it's good to see Jalen Brunson and all those guys moving the ball. Fast break. I've been crying for this. I feel like we have way too many young kids on this team to not be pretty high, to me, top 10 or in the upper half of pace moving. And again, we have guys like Obi, guys like RJ to me that are athletic, that can go on the fast break, get the alley-oops, move the ball in transition. So those are really big for me. No, the rebounding, not too bad. Again, I do for you, Steph, still 47 to 43.
Right, not too bad.
It's not too bad, but it can be better, because to me, there should be no reason why this team doesn't average at least 45 rebounds a game, at least. Between RJ, Mitch, Randall, Hartenstein, and those guys, there should be no reason why these guys don't average at least 45 rebounds a game. But other than that, the Knicks are doing good. The Knicks are 2-0, so let's see if we can make it 3-0. Even though I'm not gonna lie, Sim, I have a superstition of teams that go undefeated in preseason. I don't like it. I don't know why. I've never liked it when teams go undefeated in preseason. I just don't. I don't know why. It just always bothered me for some reason. You know what it is? I think you know what it is for me, Sim. I want you to lose to get just
to get a loss out the way.
Yeah, just to get the loss. Right? Just get the loss out the way, because I hate, if we go 4-0 and then boom, everybody gonna be like, "Yo, how we just go 4-0?" Like, you know what I mean? So I would just like to get at least one loss out the way, just to get that over with.
I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? Either way, I still think it's hard to determine, to take everything from the preseason and apply it to the season. I guess that's just superstitious. Right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, because I mean, what happened? It's like I seen this year, right? The Lions went 4-0. the Detroit Lions went 4-0, and the fan base got excited, and then I'll be right.
Yeah. The last game, the Knicks were led in scoring by Obi Toppin, right? He had 20, what do you have? 24 points. Obi Toppin had 24 points. Mitchell Robinson led the team in rebounding. Julius Randle led the team in assists, or only 4 assists. Although he only had 4 assists and he led the team, the Knicks still had 25 assists. That means the ball is really being spread around, and there's a lot of guys, conscious of making the right play. You know what I mean? Where not just one guy is going to gobble up all the assists. And that's the way you want to play, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I think that's actually a pretty good thing. Right? Obi Toppin actually led the team in blocks with 2. I think Miles McBride maybe had 2 blocks as well.
He did.
Right? But Obi's done a good job of, so far, seeing what's happening off the ball and then coming over to affect the opposing team's shot. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that he's going to have to continue to do as time goes on. You know what I mean? And another way to get himself on the floor, and I know a lot of times people talk about, he's, scoring this many points and that many points, but if he can play defense and get blocks, the way he did in the previous game, then he'll arch out sometimes on the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Tibbs is not, I don't know how much Tibbs is even worrying about shooting, because he said you could shoot bad and still have a good game.
Right.
So if Obi is out there doing, what I'm seeing, knowing where his man is, knowing what's going on overall defensively so that you can rotate over and get a block. He had a steal offensively, putting the ball on the floor, hitting those are things that's going to keep him on the floor and will allow him to play in a half-court game and not just an up-tempo game.
Exactly. Looking at the overall comparison of the two teams during the preseason, the Knicks are averaging 124 points per game. Only 42.5 rebounds, as to your point, Steph. They're also averaging 26 assists per game, 11 and a half steals.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot of steals. That's a lot of steals. 11 and a half steals, 6.5 blocks, 11 turnovers, right? They're really taking care of the basketball. 11 turnovers. And Julius Randle, I'm not exactly sure.
None.
But he hasn't had any turnovers, right?
None.
And now he's only played about 20 minutes per game. But that's a very good sign that he hasn't had turnovers here in the preseason. Because, Julius Randle can get into the habit of having some crazy turnovers out there. But so far he has not. That's a testament to the ball being in Jalen Brunson's hands and him playing a little bit more off the ball. And it also could be a testament to, he's not receiving double teams right now either. You know what I mean? But if he's playing fast, the ball is moving, it's going to be harder to double him when he gets the ball. The Knicks are shooting 47.4% from the field, 39.2% from the three-point line, and 88% from the free throw line. If the Knicks can keep these numbers, but increase their rebounding, that's looking good. That'd be looking really, really good for the Knicks. Now, the only thing I'll say is their offensive rebounds would probably go down anyway if they're shooting this well from the field. Then their offensive rebounds would go down. So I'd be more concerned about what are their defensive numbers. Right. Do they have good defensive rebounding numbers? The Pacers on the season, they're averaging 118 points per game, 50 rebounds a game, 26.5 assists, 6 steals, 9 blocks for the Pacers per game. They're averaging 19 turnovers, so the Knicks can turn them over. They're shooting 46.5% from the field, 30% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line for the Pacers. The Pacers average 62 points in the paint, the Knicks 56. The Pacers are averaging 9.5 rebounds, the Knicks 14. And the Knicks so far this season, this preseason, are averaging 24 fast break points per game.
Wow.
Right? Like they had a ton of fast break points versus the Pistons.
31.
right? So obviously that skews the numbers. It's only been 2 games, so those numbers are going to be kind of skewed anyway because it's a small sample size. But it's a lot of fast break points. If they continue to generate steals and get those easy fast break points, that's a way to put points up on the board. You know what I mean? A nice way to put points up on the board. We'll see if it's something that they can continue to do. But just looking at these numbers right now, Steph, and coming into this game, what do you want to see from the team coming into the game?
The ball movement. Are we able to continue to keep our assists up? Because we got to keep in mind this is a habit that they have to develop. It's not something that they're used to. And this is pretty much the same team other than Brunson and iHeart, right? So the habit. So I want to continue to see the ball movement and the assists up. I want to continue to see them operating at a faster pace, taking shots earlier in the shot clock, but good shots. And you think about it, you're playing at a faster pace. You're shooting earlier in the shot clock. You're getting fast break points. You're not turning the ball over. That is a good recipe, for winning for the Knicks. So yeah, assists, pace, fast break points.
Yeah, Isaiah, what are you looking to see from the Knicks, man?
Perimeter defense. That's my number one. Perimeter defense is my number one because I feel like for us to have a great season, it has to start from defensive end. And that's my biggest worry just because of projectively who we have starting right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to put all the perimeter pressure on RJ because to me, that's not going to make him a better defender when he has to, guard all these other positions and try to make up for other people's lapses. But same thing kind of what Steph was saying. Transition. Can we keep the transition up? Can we keep the turnovers down? Because Steph, like you said, that's a big thing. That's this team is learning to break bad habits,
right?
We're learning to break bad habits and just to pick up on the good ones. Because now that we have Jalen Brunson, we have to remember that the ball is not just always going to be in Julius Randle Horn. He's not going to be passing from the post or passing up top. No, we're going to move the ball. We're going to try to, shoot early in the shot clock. We're going to take high efficient shots, and that's really one of the most important things. And I want to see our transition defense because if we're going to start making more shots, we got to get back on transition defense. We got to make sure that we're back and everybody's in position. So that's what I'm really looking for today. And I'm glad that we're facing the Pacers again because they're going to adjust. So we got to do the adjustments to their adjustments. So looking forward to that tonight.
Yeah. The Knicks have been shooting. The Knicks shot 44 threes versus the Pacers in the last game.
Wow.
It's a lot of threes. I don't know as a matter of fact, their first 5 shots of the game, I think, were 3-point attempts. I don't know if we should expect the Knicks to shoot this many threes throughout the season. Do you think, Steph, they're going to be a team, a high-volume 3-point shooting team based on what we've seen so far?
I mean, if the shots are open, they're going to take them. I don't think they're going to force them. I think in that last game, there was some forced 3-pointers, especially in the beginning of the game. But we were top 10, I believe, in attempts last season. Might even have been higher than that. And I don't think that's gonna change.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the percentage can. Well, I guess the Knicks shot a decent percentage last year, right?
They did. Mm-hmm.
They shot a decent percentage. I would expect that percentage is gonna stay at least where it was last year, and even get better. You know what I mean? Because I think you do have more shooters on this team now with the addition of iHeart and Jalen Brunson in that starting lineup. Well, iHeart off the bench and Jalen Brunson in the starting lineup. RJ's been shooting the 3 very good in the preseason so far.
He's been efficient.
It's been efficient. He's been knocking down those threes. And if you have, obviously we know what Evan Fournier can do. If you have those 3 consistently knocking down threes, and then if Randall can be at 33, 34%, that's pretty decent shooting in that starting lineup. And then we need IQ off the bench to adjust his shot selection so that his percentage can go up a little bit. I don't think that's going to happen, but,
I'm losing hope in that, Sam. And that was one of the things I'm thinking for IQ. we talk a lot that he's better with the ball in his hand. Is he really? Because when he's in the ball in his hand is when he's dribbling all around and taking those
Yeah.
shots. When he's playing off the ball and they pass the ball to him behind the 3-point line, money. Like that shot is going in.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. Let's see if this season he'll be able to work that out.
Right. Let me ask you this, Steph. Is there any chance, do you see any chance whatsoever? I don't, but I want to know what other people think. Any chance whatsoever that if Emmanuel Quickly's shot selection doesn't change or get better, you see him on the outside looking in, and that second unit is now Rose, Grimes, Reddish, Obi, Ihart?
With Tibbs, no.
Yeah.
But that's something I would do. That's something that I would, I would look at. But for some reason, Tibbs really, not for some reason, he really likes IQ. And the shot selection doesn't seem to be, a big deal. And think about it. The shot selection now is not like before when he was just pulling up 2 or 3 feet behind the 3-point line. Now the shot selection is driving into nowhere and trying to draw contact and nothing is, so I don't think so. But I think if it was any other coach, yeah, they would take a look at it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. You know what I mean? I mean, we all know there's things that he can do. When he gets hot, he can really get hot. He is the kind of player that can change a game, you know what I mean, with his shot making. But sometimes he can hurt you with his shot taking, right? I can see a more controlled game with D Rose and Grimes and Reddish out there at the 1, 2, and the 3. I could just see a more controlled game.
Absolutely.
But you're right. Tom Thibodeau really, really, really loves Emmanuel Quickly, and I don't see him coming off the floor. I see his time probably increasing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know he's going to drive Andy crazy. And he's going to drive Andy crazy. Next time we see Andy on the show, he might be bald. I don't know. Isaiah, what do you think, man?
Oh no, are you kidding me? He got the green light when he was a rookie. It was over with that, son. When he got the green light as a rookie. Listen, I don't get it. What is with New York head coaches and they always got that one player they just love? It was Mike Woodson with J.R. Smith, and now it's Thibs with IQ. But IQ's not a knucklehead. He's Hollywood, but he ain't no knucklehead. But nah, man, it's IQ, man. He's gonna be on his team. He's gonna be on it in the second unit. He's gonna take these shots that's gonna almost break our TV, but then he's gonna take that shot where it's like we down 5. He shoots the big 3. We're down 2. When the crowd's hyped. That's what IQ does, man.
Yeah,
what IQ does.
I mean, you know what? The thing is, you have
to have these players.
The Knicks have a history of having these players. John Starks, right?
Right.
J.R. Smith, Emmanuel Quickly. You got a history of having one of these guys. I guess you got to have them. Hey, every time the Knicks have had one of these guys, they do good. They've been good, right? You know what happened when John Starks was on the team. You know where they've been with J.R. Smith. That was one of the best teams the Knicks had in a while, or one of the best runs the Knicks had in a while. So maybe it's going to be the same thing with IQ. But he's going to drive a lot of people crazy in the process. You know what I mean? Just some things that I'd like to see from tonight's game. I think it's a lot of what we talked about already and what I said in the previous game, but I want to continue to see the offensive balance, with Jalen Brunson, RJ, Julius Randle. So far, there's been really good offensive balance between the 3, right? And then, maybe you have some, like RJ led the team in the first game in scoring. Obi led the team in the second game in scoring. Want to continue to see that offensive balance. And like Brunson said in an interview, they're not worried about who the leading scorer is or what. They're just worried about playing together. You know what I mean? I want to see him continue to play with that mindset. Pace of play, like we said, we've seen it in the open practice. It really is a focus. They are definitely emphasizing pace. 14 seconds on the shot clock, score the ball in 14 seconds. You know what I mean? Which is it's going to become a habit for them, to score in 14 seconds. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't have times where they, run out the shot clock, if they got the lead or things like that, or, times when the game gets really tight, they may have to really focus in on getting a good shot. You're going to have all of those things, but for the most part, they're going to be in the habit of trying to score or scoring in 14 seconds or less, which is going to pick up the pace. Not only just shot attempts, but doing that forces you to move the ball. You know what I mean? I don't have a shot. Let me get it out my hands and not hold it. Pow, pow, pow. We get a shot up. I would really like to see more pick and roll with Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. We haven't seen it much during the preseason. I want to see what it can look like. I think in order to do it effectively, you can do it with Mitch out there, but to really do it effectively, I think you got to have Ihart out there on the floor because he can spread the floor open and get that shot blocking center out the paint, which is going to allow more space for Julius Randle to roll to the rim. So I would really like to see them do a little bit more pick and roll, as well as Jalen Brunson and Mitchell Robinson, some pick and roll with them too. I think it gets hard to go just straight up pick and roll with Mitch because teams know that they're gonna throw it up, so they kind of clamp in. You know what I mean? But they've got some. We seen it in the previous game versus the Pacers where they came out of the timeout and they used the ball swung up top to Randle, who swung it over to RJ, and then Mitch came up and set the screen for RJ, and they did a oop that way. So some more things like that. I'd like to see Thibodeau use Ihart and Cam in the offense. When Cam, right now, I don't see, we know he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. He can do a lot of different things out there on the floor. I don't see many things that are set up for Cam to really do his thing. He's got to find his groove out there in the offense. I'd like to see, just to try to get him jump started, say, hey, you know what? When he gets out here on the floor with the bench, let's run one or two plays that's specifically for Cam Reddish. See if we can get him going a little bit and to see what happens. I know that Tom Thibodeau said in his interview the other day that he likes when the Knicks get a defensive stop and Cam can get up the floor. He's really good at scoring and creating in transition, right? Which was good for me to hear because that means that he's got some ideas on how he wants to use Cam. So I'd like to see him get more involved in the offense. And then, of course, a continued defensive intensity. So far in the preseason, I think the Knicks have come out really intense, making 2 and 3 different efforts to get a stop on the defensive side. And I want to see that continue. You know what I mean? So it can roll over right into the season. Isaiah, any other things that, I know you mentioned some things earlier, but any other thoughts or things that you want to see during this particular preseason game?
Like I said before, just the adjustments. I would also individually, I would like to see Cam defensively. You
might want to lower the mic some. It's kind of low. Yeah.
You gave me now? Good. Check from mic 1, 2. Who is this?
It's a little better.
All right.
You don't have to make all that noise with it.
my fault. Nah, basically, just I like to see Cam defensively, see how he does better. Because again, that's how he's gonna get on the floor. It's not about the shot making. It's gonna be more about his defense. I would like to see quickly do some better shots. I just want to see RJ keep doing his thing, man. I'm proud of RJ, man. So far, 2 games in a row, he's been efficient. That's probably been my biggest heart for him is that I would love for him to get to the next level, he got to be at least 44%. That's the bare minimum that he has to be this year. He's about 44%. I would love to see him at 46 or 47% this season. That'd be great. That'd be great. But I just like to see RJ keep doing his thing. And that's pretty much it for me. That's because everything else we would have talked about what I want to see. So that's all that little extra stuff.
Yeah. Steph, any other thoughts about what you'd like to see in this game?
No, I mean that's pretty much it. Player wise, I want to see if Julius Randle looks a little better in the offense. I know he got his points in the Detroit game, but it's not even about the points. It's just about him looking in flow
Right.
in that offense. So that's something I'll be looking for tonight. I'm not sure how many points he's going to get. Um, in RJ Barrett, he's shooting and catching three really, really good. Finished at the rim very well against Detroit, not so well against Indiana. So, looking to see that as well. And Cam Reddish, whether he starts or doesn't, he's going to get an opportunity. So is he going to, continue to make his case to be in this rotation?
Yeah, right. Something that I want to see is I want to see this game be tight. So far, over 2 games, it's been blowouts. I want to see the game tight. This way, I can see what the rotation looks like down the stretch.
Right.
We can see the dynamic between Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle and RJ Barrett down the stretch of a tight game. Those are some things that I don't think we've had we haven't had a chance to see. Right? So I'd like to see this game go tight down the stretch. So we can survey some of that, and the team needs to figure out some of those things as well. So that'll be interesting to see. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I have anything else. We will be back tonight after the game. The game starts at 7 p.m. tonight. It is in Indiana. You can watch it on MSG, or if you're not in New York, you can watch it on League Pass, or however other way that you watch it. All right? But make sure you join us after the game, probably 15 minutes after the game or so, and we'll be on live breaking down this particular basketball game, what we've seen and what we expect, because the Knicks play their last preseason game this Friday versus the Washington Wizards back at Madison Square Garden. Then the regular season is on, ladies and gentlemen. Then it's on. Ready to go.
Yep. Can I just add
Yep.
that I'll be doing the morning recap tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Dope Soul Sports Talk. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so you'll get those notifications. And I'll probably won't be on tonight, Sim, but I'll be in the chat while I'm getting my slides together.
Okay. All right. That's good. So remember, 8 a.m. So on your ride to work tomorrow morning, you can listen in, join Steph as she breaks down her perspective of the game, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you do that. Isaiah, any last things you want to say before we get out of here?
Again, man, Sim, thank you, Steph, Tony, Jaws, Guillermo,
Andy.
and Andy, and Andy gonna say I'm racist, but no, I appreciate everybody in the chat, man, showing me love. Again, it means so much in the bottom of my heart. Like I said, my dad loved this channel. My dad, after the Knicks win, he'll come in here and just say, "All right, yeah, good win." But again, I just appreciate you guys so much, Sim.
No doubt.
Sim, you especially, man. Tony, all you guys, everybody, man. Just thank you so much again. Love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man. And shout out to Jay Boogie. He said Obi is in position to line himself up to be a candidate to be mentioned as the 6th man of the year if he continues to playing as he is right now.
Whew.
Oh, we'll see. He's got to continue to play this way, to be a candidate. He's got to continue to play that way.
But so not the real quick, not the like. I'm not itching on Jay Boog, but basically, what 6th man of the year is now. You playing 30-something minutes. That most 6 men now. I mean, it's not like how it was back in the day where the guys would have like 20, 25 minutes. Nah, these jokers 6 men a year. You starting basically. You starting basically.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if Obi gonna do all that, but
I mean, if he puts up crazy numbers, in his time on the floor, then maybe he would be. But I just want to see it. I'm not trying to jump off the ledge with it yet. I just want to see it. That's all.
Hey man, listen again, like we said earlier, if he is a candidate for 6th man of the year, the Knicks have had a good season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. They have a good season. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you catch me later on tonight after the game. I'm gonna get Big Bubba to, give me half of that 150 back.
Hey, so hold on. You know what, Steph, you want to hear something?
For lunch, ladies and gentlemen, for lunch.
Steph, you want to know something? You know how Sim's being good today? He didn't even mention who else was at the dinner. I'm gonna leave it at that. He's not even gonna mention who else was at the dinner.
I ain't even gonna mention it. I ain't even gonna
See,
mention it.
I
You mentioned it. I ain't even gonna. You did.
Aw.
They know now. I don't have to mention it. They already know.
You know, but Sim, you know,
They
it was my
already know.
lady. It was my lady friend, but you know.
There you go, John.
Yeah, ladies and
You might
gentlemen.
heal a little quicker now. You're in a relationship. Maybe you might heal a little quicker.
You know.
That was a good one. You got- Oh man, hey, listen, man. She's been great. She's been great. Everybody's gonna meet her. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, she's keeping him straight. She's keeping him straight. Now maybe we can get him to go to Bridgeport.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Because she got him on a schedule.
I love. Wait, first of all, she don't. Actually, she has an event tonight I have to go to.
She got
But
him
they
on a
don't-
schedule. Yeah, he's organized now,
man.
folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.